Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And somebody asked me where in Canada and where in British Columbia I am, and I am based on Vancouver Island in a little town called Ladysmith. So if you've ever been to Vancouver Island, we're about an hour north of Victoria, if you kind of know where that is. So anyway, thought I'd tell people that because I usually just say I'm from British Columbia. And so the West Coast, and almost the very West Coast. All right, so tonight I'm here with a mystery challenge. So it's every other Thursday I jump on with a mystery, and then the alternate Thursday I do a technique. And so tonight the mystery is a color challenge. Hey Cindy, welcome. So I decided to use Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Basic Gray. Love Petal Pink and Poppy Parade together. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it when I put the colors together, but then I realized that I have played almost not at all with the Santa's Express suite, and it actually has those colors in it, so I thought it would be perfect. And I'm going to make a Z-fold card. So my challenge to you is to grab Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Basic Gray. If you don't have Basic Gray, maybe you've got Smoky Slate, or if you don't have Petal Pink, then try Real Red. So just kind of put some of these kind of similar colors together if you don't have them, and make a card. And I'm going to make a Z-fold or a Z-fold card just because I think that the train in this Santa's Express is just perfect for this fold. So that's my plan tonight. All right, let's switch over and get started. So again, these were the colors: Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Basic Gray. I think it's going to look really pretty. As I said, I'm going to use this. Let me take this out. Got a glare from my light. So the Santa's Delivery, that's the stamp set. And then there are coordinating dies that come along with it. And I have to admit, the only die I'm going to use on mine are these great train tracks. To look to see, that's a bow. I guess it goes on the, yeah, okay. I was thinking maybe that didn't go with this, but I do think it goes. So you can stamp and color Santa and his train and this great little penguin. Isn't he cute? I am going to use the designer series paper, and stamp them and then cut them out, of course, using these great dies. There is amazing designer series paper with this. And you can actually, so there is one, well, there's two pieces, but 12 by 12. There is one piece that you can cut out Santa and his train. And then there's another piece that you can cut out these cars, the train cars. And then I also cut out of the train cars, there are these great trees. So I cut a couple of those trees out. I thought I'd get ahead of that and just go ahead and cut these out now. This is from a share, so I'm going to try and not completely destroy this piece, because the Santa that I want on his train is right here in the middle. And I'm going to cut one of these big trees. So let's just take that big kind of swack out of the middle. Hey Kathleen, welcome from Kentucky. Goodness. Glad you're here tonight. All right, so when I do these fussy cutting of these out of the designer series paper, I'm not worried. I'm actually not going right up against the image. You could actually take way more time to do this if you wanted to, but I actually leave about a 1/16 of an inch or so around my images. So it really is just kind of somewhat rough cutting. I don't leave a lot, but I'm not stressing about if I'm cutting a little closer in spots than others. But these trains are so adorable. All right, so there's my train. See, it doesn't take long at all, but I did think I would not let you watch me cut all these pieces. And I'm going to cut this kind of shape of the tree just to give it a little different. We'll see how many of these I actually use. But I like to pop up the trees. Okay, so I've got my pieces. See how quick that was? And because it's a Z fold card, I want the train to be a little bit longer. So I've got the 2 cars. You could make more, I'm not sure. I think 2 cars will fit. All right, so let me bring in my supplies. So for a Z fold or Z fold card, you're going to need a piece of cardstock, and this is cut 4 1/4 by 11. And I realized that somewhere I've left my band, so let me grab it because I'm not sure where it is. There it is. I knew I had cut the band. So you need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to score it at 5 1/2. And then we're going to score the 5 1/2 in half, which is at 2 3/4. So basically you're scoring it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So in half, and then that one in half again. And then you're going to do the same to this. I have cut my band. This is kind of going to hold the whole card together, 1 inch by 11. So we're going to score this at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. I know I've made these cards before. This is one of my favorite fancy folds. And there are certain ones that just absolutely seem to call out for this. Okay, so always fold into the mountain. So we're going to fold our card closed on and towards the raised line, bone folder, and then we're going to fold this front flap back on itself. So you're going to end up with a fold that looks like that. So that's the start. That's how your card base is going to go. This piece is basically going to fold the same way. So fold it in half and then fold it. I'm going to think about this. Yeah, fold it back on itself. So you're folding them both exactly the same way. When you put this together, what's different about it is, so on the card base, you have your 2 smaller flaps on your left-hand side. And when you put this together with the band, you're going to have the 2 smaller flaps on the right-hand side. And that's what's going to create this Z fold. And so when I put it together, I'm going to end up with a card that looks like this. And that's what I thought that Santa would fit. This is kind of my theory. Actually, Santa's going to go, this is where I'm not sure. I may only use one of the trains just because, or one of the carts. Carts? That's not what you call these. Cart. Anyway, I may only use one of them. I had thought if Santa went the other way, then you could actually use it if it was going that way. But okay, so let's put some patterns. So I've got a piece of basic white, and that's going to go on the inside of the card. That's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I cut a piece of Poppy Parade, and these are cut 2 1/2 by 4. And they're going to fit like that. Now, I've already gone ahead, and I'm not sure that you can see the embossing. Oh, yeah, there we go. I have embossed this. There are 2 different embossing folders that come, well, they're part of this suite of products. There is the one with the mountains and snow, and then there is this one with snow and a little village. And I'm sure you can't, so there you go, you can see that. So I used the little village, and I stamped, or I embossed the Poppy Parade piece. Now I want these to show up a little bit more. So I've got some Whisper White Craft ink. This is the pigment ink, and I'm just going to pick up some. Hopefully I've got some on here. Where's my something I can see how much? Yeah. I don't want this to be really dark, but I'm just going to take and go over my background that I embossed, and it just adds a little bit of white, and it makes it so you can actually see that embossing a little bit more. And I just kind of like the look of it. So just very lightly. You could put more on if you want, but I'm just kind of going really lightly, and I'm just calling out. It looks really cool with those snowflakes. There we go. So I don't want this. So these are the narrow embossing folders that are intended to go through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So what I did is this paper is too wide, but I just kind of put it in, and I had about 1/2 inch or so sticking out the bottom because I knew it was going to be hidden. I've got a line here where the embossing folder kind of made a line, but I knew that was going to be hidden by my band, so I wasn't too worried about that. So we're going to put these on. You could add an extra layer if you wanted to add, another layer of color. But I think the Poppy Parade on the petal pink just makes it pop. I did cut this piece of Poppy Parade 4 inches by 5 1/4 before I started. Actually 4 inches by 5, and then I cut it in half. So you can see that I do have maybe you can't see. It is kind of looks like was joined in the middle when I did my my embossing. All right, so let's take this. What are we going to? So I want to stamp something on the inside. What is it that I want to stamp? Let's stamp. Well, maybe we won't. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to just adhere this, and then we'll see how it closes. Sometimes I change my mind, and I do want to stamp, and sometimes I don't. So we're going to just adhere this on this. So this was 4 inches by 5 1/4. And now we can take and put our belly band. Now I'm going to have this going fairly close, or not a belly band, but our band, to the bottom. You can, depending on how you want this, but I want Santa to go kind of the train to be not covering up everything. So I'm going to put it actually almost right at the bottom. And I'm just going to take, and I'm going to put some glue along here and adhere this. Again, this is the 2 small flaps on the left-hand side, and then for the band, you've got your longer flap going across on the left-hand side, just so it's opposite. And you only want to adhere it to this front flap. I don't want to adhere it anywhere else. And then you're also going to adhere this last small flap. The rest are free floating. And you can just kind of keep it open and try to get it straight. Good glue on my fingers. All right, so now when I close it, anybody who knows me knows I don't like glue on my fingers. All right, so I'm gonna have to put a glue dot. I've got a corner. So if you ever get a corner of your cardstock kind of sticking up, just take a glue dot and put underneath it the corner. I just didn't get the glue close enough. There we go. All right, so that's my card base, and now we can start decorating. So let's bring Santa. And I only want to adhere the train to the band, because I'm going to have it kind of floating along. So I'm going to do that with dimensionals. And I'm just going to put the dimensionals along at the bottom here. And I'm going to do the same with the train, or the heart. My brain is gone. I can't think of a word. If somebody can tell me what the word is for these cars. Oh, it's cars. That's what it is. Train cars. I'm not sure why my brain wasn't thinking about that. All right, so we can just take and put some dimensionals along the bottom. Oh, gosh. You know what I forgot to do? All right. So there is a die that will cut out train tracks. So I think I'm still good. I'm going to put train tracks along the bottom. There we go. I am still good. Now I cut extras because I want my train tracks to go across the whole band. So where's my silicone mat? Gosh, I almost forgot to put these on. And then I wouldn't have had my basic gray. All right, I'm just going to try and take just a little bit of liquid glue and put kind of on these diagonal pieces. And I'm going to just tuck this underneath like that. Now it looks like my train is actually on its tracks. And I am going to just glue this and then hope that it will fold nicely. I could cut it, but we'll hope that we can actually get this to fold. Oops. So we're going to put it like that. And then I have another piece and I'm going to just cut it, and so that I have it going to the end of my card. Like that. There we go. Cute with the train tracks. Okay, so now let's take and put this train car behind Santa. And he's got tracks now that he can carry on and drive. There we go, that works. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just give this a good crease because that was where I didn't fold. All right, so now Santa's going along. There are, let's do, I think, in the dies, I didn't cut this out in advance. Yes, there are these dies that cut out puffs of smoke. So let's put some puffs of smoke on, and I've got some basic gray. So I'll do this. Bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And just cuts 3 puffs of smoke. Now, if you wanted to, I'm not going to do it, but I had this idea just now. And if I thought about it, I would have. But you could take a piece of window sheet and adhere these puffs of smoke to your window sheet and then put them up, kind of coming out of the train, so you wouldn't see they would kind of look like they're suspended in air. But I don't have my window sheets handy, so there's an idea for you if you're making one of these cards. You could actually, oh gosh, you know what? I might have to do that. Let me grab some window sheet now that I see. Always have these ideas afterwards. So let's take, I've got a piece, just a little tiny piece of window sheet, and I'm going to just take and cut about 3/4 of an inch. I'm not measuring. And let's take and just trim this. So I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal And I'm just going to glue a little bit on there and stick it underneath my this is where the smokestack is. So then I can just take and adhere these with glue dots maybe. So it looks like these puffs of smoke are coming out of the smokestack. And they are 3 different sizes, which is cool. So we will, actually let's turn this a little bit. I think I want it to go back a little bit like that. Okay, now we'll put the biggest one here, like that. And then the next size, oops, like that, and that. All right, and then I can trim this. I have got it a little bit wide, or a little bit. So I'm just going to take and just kind of trim around my puffs of smoke, so you won't see so much of the window sheet. These window sheets are amazing. If you've never played with them, they're great for kind of doing this where you don't want the whole. Oh, that's great. Now you can really see that when it's on the white. Yeah, so the window sheets are great for just kind of hiding it. You won't notice it so much. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but it looks really cool. Okay, so I think I need a sentiment. And so what I was thinking I was going to stamp is this special delivery for you. And maybe what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stamp it right up in there in the corner. I think that's a perfect spot for it. It will fit nicely. Like that. Oh, that's very cute. Okay, and the last thing I grabbed was, these are the classic matte dots, and they come in white, very vanilla, basic gray, and black. So let's take some of the basic gray ones and just put on, because you can't have a card without some embellishments. At least I can't. So ribbon or something. So we will just put those on there. All right, so there's the Z fold card. So if you want the measurements for this, I know I will be putting this on a blog post in the next couple of weeks. So if you miss the measurements, stay tuned for my blog post to go live. If you want the measurements before that, you could try to watch the video again, or if you miss it, if I've been too quick, just message me or leave a comment, and I'll write the measurements underneath the video. So yeah, I think he's very cute. I like making Z fold cards. They are fun to make. So I hope you'll try it. If you haven't made a Z fold card, try it. They are so much fun. And post them. If you're part of my Facebook group, post them on my Facebook group so I can see what you've created. If you're not part of my Facebook group, the link to join is underneath this video, and I'd love to see what you're creating. And I do send out happy mail at the end of each month for some of the people that have shared their amazing projects. All right, so as I've been telling you, I am off to New Orleans on Saturday for Stampin' Up! Backstage, which is a leadership conference. So I'm leaving Saturday, and I will be home the following Sunday. So I will not be live on Saturday and Sunday. I have pre-recorded a sketch challenge for you, so it is set to go. I hope it goes. It is set to go at 6:30 Pacific on Tuesday night. So I hope you'll watch. I hope you post what you make with your sketch. Hope you like the card that I've made. And I will look at all the comments afterwards. It will look just like I'm live, except that I won't actually respond to comments or say hello as the video goes live. And then I will not be live next Thursday night with my technique. So I'll kind of be posting lots of my blog posts and things going live, but I won't be live. So stay tuned. I will be posting pictures of New Orleans. I'm so excited. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and happy stamping. Bye.